So that there out front is my new R6. It's actually quite annoying, because as much as I love this, I'm really excited about that bike. Since I rode it over in Portimao in the black and white, I mean, it's just the sexiest bike I think I've been on or seen for so long. I've just been busting to get my hands on it. So now up in front, Martin's riding it at the moment because we're on our way to JHS, and I'm doing a bit of a cheerio to my old RS, which is it's a real shame because it's a phenomenal bike. But with that out front that I'm waiting for, yeah, not so bad. Not so bad. Now I'm particularly liking Martin's ensemble Ducati leathers on a Yamaha R6. So he's obviously a massive Rossi fan, wearing the wrong leathers with the right bike. Or the right leathers with the wrong bike a couple of years ago. But bless him, that's what he's got. And you'll notice, if you get really, really close, which I don't really want to do, he's got Guy Martin skulls on his helmet as well. Fair play to him. And those two massive protruding things out the side of his helmet. Should really get back to the bike, really. Anyway, there'll be more to come. We're off to JHS, get it dynoed. It's only done 500 miles, so they'll go gentle on it, I'm sure. But let's see where it's at, and over the winter, see where we can get it to, because it's completely standard at the moment. The only thing that's been added to it is a few miles and a shitload of winter dirt, but that'll go too. So I'll catch up with you later at JHS.
Right then, Charlie. Hello. Nice big smile.
Hello, Beach.
Oh, that's better. That'll keep him happy. This is your second, but also your final vlog on this, the Triumph Street Triple RS. But there are reasons for that, aren't there? I mean, it's been a crazy few months since your first one, which was in, I think it was in August. Yeah. But there is another reason why we haven't done too much. Could you explain to the lovely people what that is?
That we haven't done too much to the bike?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a journey bike, really, this one for us. Now, firstly, it's been phenomenal, and to be fair, you don't have to do a lot with it, as you will have seen from launch reports, etc., and so forth. Because in regard to this triple, it was one of 4 that came out start of the year. This is the top spec one, the RS. There's also the R just below it, which we've also had a play with. There's the S, and then there's actually a 675 A2 based triple as well, which basically has shown Triumph's commitment, certainly with the Street Triple, so that they can actually give pretty much everyone the opportunity to ride it. But this is not for the faint-hearted. And in regard to why I haven't done a lot with it, well, yeah, it's been a mad time. I've been working on other projects, etc. Yeah, that one mostly, which I worked on a lot. But that doesn't mean I haven't spent time with the Triumph. But what Triumph like to do is, bless them, they'll lend us a bike. But then when we're upgrading the bike and when we're modifying it, we're a little bit stifled because what we have to use is everything from the Triumph catalogue, which, look, is fair enough. We get a phenomenal bike for 7 months to play with, to talk about, and to write about, and to journey on. But in regard to what we can do to it, it's slightly limited.
Okay, well then we'll move to the very small number of modifications you've done to it in a bit.
We'll stretch these out.
Yeah, try to stretch these out a bit. How's it been living with this bike then? Because we know it's got just enough low down for town work and stuff, and then there's almost a bit of a lull, and then it just takes off like a 2-stroke.
Yeah. Yes. Living with it's been brilliant, because basically what you've got is, it's not a wolf in sheep's clothing by any means, but it's like you say, this new 765 engine, it's very, very peaky, it's very, very toppy, and it's behaving like a super sport bike.
Yeah, and this is specifically in this RS because it has some different engine internals that make it like that to make the power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what you'll find with this, it's all in the top end. It's all in the top end, and so the chances to actually use that have been quite limited. But that said, around about town, etc., I mean, it's ultimately incredibly usable. And yeah, it's been a brilliant servant over the past 7-8 years.
How are your longer journeys on it? What was the longest journey? A couple hundred miles, probably in one sitting.
Yeah, it's probably up to our head office, Lincolnshire, which is, it's going to be 4 hours all day, whether you're in a car or whether you're on a bike, which is a strange thing to say, but in regards to the stops and etc. that you'd use. But long journeys are fine, it just eats them up. I mean, it's a big, wide, comfortable seat. It's a really comfortable sitting position, and predominantly, if you want to get some beans going, then you've got to tuck in. And as best as you can, this is one of the modifications we made.
I was going to say, this is one of the official accessories that just bolts onto. Is this the standard part here, and that bolts on?
Yeah, that bolts on.
Okay.
It makes a bit of difference.
It does?
Yeah, it does make a bit of difference. That's good.
What about someone who's tall?
Someone who's tall, what, like yourself?
Yeah.
Well, you're just going to be gangling all over the place, anyway, aren't you? You're like an elephant on a tricycle.
Okay.
No, so yeah, to be able to actually get down onto the bike, into a tuck position, yeah, you can do that. I mean, the only time that I've really been able to open this up is on track, and it's great. It's built for track. It's just got to be built for track.
Yeah.
Because the 765 engine is built for track.
Yeah.
It's for the Moto 2. And, you know, for so many reasons, the RS is a great prototype for what's to come. So, yeah, track time is brilliant. And people will, you know, I was round Coombe, and there was a guy in an R1 who couldn't believe that I was going past him because I was on a naked.
Gotcha.
But I couldn't believe I was going past him. So on the track's great. On the street, again, it's a very, very usable motorcycle.
Okay. What kind of range are we getting out of a tank, roughly?
What? Probably about 120, maybe.
Really? Is that all? That doesn't sound too good. How big is the tank? I think the tank's probably 16, 17 litres as standard. Let's have a look at the awesome dash of awesomeness. 4,222 miles. Okay, MPG 44%. That is all right. So I think you've probably been getting what probably happens is a lot of bikes like these have quite an enthusiastic reserve light. So it will say you're running out of fuel and you do 20 or 30 miles, get all worried, turn up and you fit 3 litres more into it than you expected to.
But that probably makes sense, to be fair. So in terms of running it dry and then actually running it out.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I got out of it.
I mean, how nice has it been looking at this dash?
It's good. It's good, and all the variants that you can put into it. I mean, you can spend all day playing with that dash. It's great. I mean, these TFT dashes are becoming more and more regular on new bikes. I kind of miss the old ones, really, but then I'm just being...
Yeah, that's why I like this option, because there's a rev counter. So it's almost like... But I've got to be honest, I think this is... Well, we're yet to see the new Panigale V4 dash, because that has what's supposed to be the next generation dash.
Right.
But I think this is arguably the best one on the market.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with that.
Okay.
I wouldn't disagree with that. And all of the different options that you have within this as well are... I mean, basically you can cycle through. It's on... you can see there, it's on just normal road use at the moment. But then you have a sport mode, you have a track mode, you have a rider mode, which is what you can put your own, put all your own settings into. You've also got a wet mode as well.
Yeah.
But the reason I would add to the fact that this is track faced is that this is the only bike of the range that will have a track setting.
Okay.
It's also the only bike on the range that has these phenomenal M50 monoblock calipers.
I still think that's just overkill, but it's nice to have.
You can say it's overkill, but what it's basically saying to me is that Triumph want you to ride the shit out of this bike because it's got the braking capabilities of stopping,
Yeah.
obviously.
No, you're right, mate. No, it is good. It's a decent suspension, brakes, everything. The engine's peaky, but then it makes extra power. Right, okay, so let's just leave that on for a second because one modification you did do was change the exhaust. Now, as you can see here, it has Arrow written on it. Now, this is the official Arrow can. Now, first of all, tell me how much this is.
£615.
And that's basically an end can with what looks like a bit of a collector box at the bottom. Okay, would you like to start it for us? I have to be honest, that doesn't sound a massive amount different from standard. Now, you put this on the dyno, didn't you? What happened?
We dropped 2 brake horsepower. Now, basically, when I put it on at standard, it was 117 at the wheel. Then we ran it again, and it was, with this pipe on it, was 115. There was a good 4 months between these 2 runs, mind. So you've got to think of atmospheric pressures, etc. It was different, and that would have affected it. So what they said at JHS is right, the fact that actually it hasn't made any difference.
Okay.
So in fairness, the standard exhaust isn't like a behemoth like Suzuki SV650 thing like this. It was actually pretty tidy.
Yeah.
Where you're really making the saving with this, though, will be the weight.
Okay.
Because it's a titanium can. Obviously, you've got the carbon on the outside. And, do you know, it's an Arrow. It's a good exhaust. It's a good-looking piece of engineering. I just think, well, it's not real world, is it? If I'm going to change an exhaust on a bike, I'm not going to have a catalytic converter on it. I'm not going to have that box. I'm going to put something straight through. But, you know, that would make it non-legal, and you can't do that.
Well, yeah, well, we can't when it's running with Triumph and their stuff. And Triumph, even with these kind of exhausts, they're also beholden to, because they're selling it, they're also beholden to certain laws.
Well, of course they are. Yeah.
The point being, though, if you want to put an exhaust on this, because why wouldn't you, for it to make some nice, better noise and make more power, you don't go down that route. You go down a different route, aftermarket.
Yeah, if you're looking for more power, etc., then you know that's what you do. If you're looking to complete the Triumph, then it's the option that you have, and it's a good one. Yeah, I mean it's not a shit exhaust. It's just not giving you the additional beans that you would probably be looking for.
Yeah, but it does keep it legal.
Keeps it legal, and you know it's not utilising the 765 engine as best as you can, as you would have heard at the NEC on the tuber, you know what I mean? But it's not, you know, it's not a bad option. And neither is, looking at the rest of this side of the bike, neither is protection such as this, and across the engine. I mean, it's all beautiful stuff. And I've got to be honest, if this was my bike, I would use the Triumph crash protection because it fits so well. And it's within the styling of what is a stunning, stunning bike.
And maybe you could talk a dealer into throwing it in.
Well, I would, and I'd get a dealer to throw this in too.
Right, okay, interesting. Speaking of options, however, you spent some time with its slightly lower spec sibling.
Yes.
The R?
I was on the R.
Now, you did a dyno run on the R.
I did.
Okay, so we'll just show that just quickly now.
Yeah. It's all fantastic. So we're looking.
What's your thoughts?
It's not bad. I think it's been a while since we did the RS version, but it feels crisp, revs cleanly, feels smooth. A few areas can be improved on it, but that's emissions stuff. But yeah, it feels nice. The clutch is light on this as well. The gearbox feels very nice.
You like the throttle on the RS?
Yeah. The controls of it are very light and makes it just makes the whole bike nice to ride. But yeah, power wise, we did a couple of different runs. A couple of runs in 4th gear, a run in 5th gear, and a run in 6th gear to see if there was any differences. Not really a massive amount. Just 5th gear, no difference. There's no top speed limiter on this bike for the gear that it's got, because it revved out in top gear, no problem. So our best run in 4th gear was 114 horsepower and a torque into and 76 newton meters of torque.
So that's around about what they say
Yeah.
you're going to get. And when abouts are you getting the maximum shift torque?
So our maximum torque is coming at sort of about 9 3/4. It is.
Right,
So
yeah.
you're up quite a way in the rev range. Low down, you've got a reasonable amount of torque, 65 newton meters, but you don't get your big peak torque until 9 3/4. And obviously peak power is right at the top end at 12 grand. So it's a very revved bike.
Okay. Which is the same as the RS,
Yeah, it's the same as the RS. So we'll take a look against that.
but it all happens a little bit earlier with the R.
Take this run.
At least that's what we're expecting.
So comparative to the RS. So compared to the RS, the R actually makes more mid-range power.
Yeah.
It's 6 horsepower more in mid-range it makes,
Yeah.
but loses a couple of horsepower at the top end compared to the RS. So as a road bike, the R would be a better option because the mid-range power of it is a lot better. So we'll have also look at the torque as well between the two. So the torque on the R is up as well. See in the mid-range at 8 grand, it's up 6 newton meters, right where you want it, and right at the peak torque, there's sort of 3 newtons in it. So not really a massive amount, but that's mid-range at 8 grand. You'll definitely feel that. Rev limit's the same on the two, and sort of our gearings are back the same as well. I believe this final drive will be the same, and the internal ratios in the engine
Right.
will be the same. Roll on from like 30 mile an hour up to about 125. They're very comparable. You can see here the blue run, which is the R, which also shows in the power curve that it does accelerate through a little bit faster. It does get there a couple of tenths to its peak speed, a couple of tenths faster than the RS. But that's down to this mid-range drivability of it. But overall, I don't think there's not a massive difference between the two bikes.
So the gains of the R,
power-wise.
yeah. So the gains really are in the mid-range
Of
of the R over the RS. The RS, I mean, they're both quite peaky.
Quite peaky bikes. All their power, you have to rev it right away to the red line to get the power
Yeah.
for it.
And it's only at what, 11 grand that actually the RS starts to overtake the R?
Yeah, about 11,000. They're both bang on matched. Then the RS takes off just a couple of horsepower at the top end.
But not massive.
Not
It's
massive.
a couple.
It's only a couple of horsepower, but you can put that down to conditions on the day. So overall, the results are very comparable.
Well, that was quite interesting because we knew, obviously, with the different engine internals in the, I think it's cams or something or other, from the RS to the R. I didn't research it before I pressed start on the camera. We knew that the R was going to make more torque, more power through the mid-range,
Yes.
and it did.
Yes.
Now, you rode that bike for about a month.
Yes.
How did the two compare on the road?
Well, it's only a road comparison.
Yes.
The road comparison is that the R
Mm-hmm.
is actually a better road bike, as you can see from
Yeah.
the curve in the dyno.
Sorry to interrupt. Does this also include, because obviously the suspension is slightly less focused as well,
Yeah.
so is it a nicer ride as well?
No, it is lacking in areas. I mean,
Okay.
you know, when you're on, the R is lacking in some areas, so you don't have the suspension that you have on this bike. You
Mhm.
haven't got the Öhlins shock.
Yeah.
You haven't got the Showa big piston forks. You don't have the M50 calipers. You don't have the quick shifter, which you miss immediately.
Mm.
You do, however, have an option of a red frame and a white bike.
I like that.
Wow, I like that on the 675R.
Yeah.
So actually, you know, if it's looks you're after, because the gunmetal grey is grey, but the white and the red are.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful looking bike.
It's a
stunning.
nice contrast. What I'm talking about is how did the chassis feel? Because the R is more road focused, was it a more pleasant ride just biffing along than this? Because I mean, I've not ridden the R, I have ridden this, and on some of the roads around here, actually this was a bit stiff. The rebound stuff was far too excitable, for want of a better expression.
Do you know? Yeah, I suppose, as I've just said, it's a better road bike, but the RS is by far the better option.
And it's not that much more expensive, is it? I
It's
don't
only
think.
a grand. There's a grand between us. But now look, you know, you're talking about a grand from the R up to the RS, and you're getting so much more with the RS.
Yeah.
Which a grand wouldn't buy you if you bought the R.
No, true, and you can soften this off a bit, and you can almost turn it to the R. And when if you do put a straight through exhaust can, ditch that and get it on the fuel, get the fueling done on the dyno.
Well, it's like Alistair said in regard to a lot of people will say the R is a better road bike and etc. Basically, that's fantastic.
Yay!
Yay. I won't get that.
Take your time.
So basically, like Alistair said, with the R, people will say it's a better road bike, etc., etc. But yeah, suck it up, princess, because the RS is just there.
Yeah.
And I think he was calling me a princess.
Yeah, I probably think you are exactly right on that. But okay, but the R is still a good bike though.
Oh god, yeah. Well, look, the R is £9 grand. This is 10. To be fair, stick an extra grand on your credit card. Really, although it depends. It depends what you do and how you ride. I mean, I would rather have something that is okay on the road, but is a proper track weapon.
Yeah.
And that's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Although I've spent 95% of my time on this bike.
As everyone does.
Well, of course we do, yeah. But there's so much more to talk about with the RS.
Oh, okay, right. So, I'd say it's a kind of a good roundup. Obviously, we have your new blogs coming with the R6, which will be a lot more involved because we can muck about. But
It's appalling. It's only my second blog on this bike, and this bike deserves more. In terms of talking about the bike and what I've actually done to it, there isn't a lot. But in terms of talking about the experience that I've actually had with the RS, I should have done a hell of a lot more, because I have done a lot with this bike and spent a lot of time with it, and I absolutely love it.
Okay. Well, here's the question. You see, now this question I'm about to ask you, Charlie, is usually the question that says whether or not you have loved it as much as you say. Were you tempted to ask Triumph for a price to buy it?
Yes.
There you go. Then that is a
Last year I had the Speed Triple,
yeah.
which I always struggled with the Speed Triple before. Seemed a bit longer. It was a bit too long. It was a bit disconnected between front and the back. I wasn't quite there with it until last year's model came out, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, and I was close. But then I got into the RS, and I was glad I didn't ask for a price on it, because this, for me, is better.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, it's getting up there with the power output with the brake. It's just obviously you don't have the torque, being a 765 engine as opposed to a 1050.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? An exhaust, fueling run, mapping, you'll get torque back. This is the thing. Yeah. You could get that back if you do it. But you see, you're scuppered now, because now the R6 is here, and you're probably going to want to buy that. So the Triumph's not even going to get a look in.
I just want to buy everything though.
I think we all do, mate, to be fair. Okay, buddy, well, listen, so yeah, apologies to all the people that we didn't do too many living with and all the rest of it on this. But we wanted to give it a bit of a send-off, because as Charlie said, it is a terrific thing. So last word with you on the Triumph Street Triple RS.
Last word, what superlatives can I use? I mean, it's Triumph are just totally committed to this street range, and this being top of the pile, deservedly so. It's a phenomenal bike. It's just, it will do everything for you. Some things it doesn't do as well as maybe its cousins, but where it lacks in some areas, it more than makes up for it.
Yeah.
In terms of the quality of the bike, the overall performance, certainly in the higher rev ranges, and the package that you get. It's 10 grand, really, really well spent.
Could be better spent if they made a proper Daytona.
Put that engine in a Daytona, which everybody wants. I mean, let's face it, we all want that. So crack on, Triumph, please. But all in, amazing.
Good. Thank you, Charlie.
So, this is my final outing on the Speed Triple, pretty much. No, it isn't, because it's a Street Triple. Brilliant. So this is my final outing on the Street Triple 765. This is the RS version, top of the range. And there's been nothing not to like, to be fair. It's a phenomenal piece of kit. It really is. I mean, it's beyond me. In terms of on the road, it's good. Oh, fuck this. Whatever. I can't be bothered. I can't do this talking and fucking. Anyway. Very good reason for not riding like an absolute bellend.